Hi everyone, so this is the English version on the brief tutorial. I've already assembled my brief here at the side seam and at the crotch, and then I've also assembled my band at the midway point where the seam is, right side to right side. And then I went ahead and I marked the halfway point on that end where the fold is, and then the halfway point on the width of the band with a little pink marking both on the seam and then at the fold over there. Now I'm just going to line up the band seam 1 inch towards the front of the crotch seam, and I'm going to just pin the whole thing all around and ease the leg hole opening into that band evenly. So here it is all basted in. It's not super even, but you want to make sure that it's eased in as evenly as possible. You can see that the crotch is 1 inch below where that seam is right here. Once I've done that, I'm going to move on to my elastic. So I'm going to place my center of my elastic at the center of that seam. And then I'm going to put it towards the outside seam halfway so that when I fold it over, that elastic lays facing towards the inside of the fabric where it's going to touch the leg of the dancer. So I'm just going to tack it down along that little edge. So here I am doing the other side of the elastic. So I'm making sure it's not rolled over, and I'm just going to tack it down on that outer half of my center marking just to hold one side in place before I join the other one and overlap it. So here I am joining the two, and I'm just going to do a little tack here as well. You can see that my stitching is too big here. It should be at a smaller width, and you would be able to take out that first basting line. Now that the elastic has been tacked on both the seam and the center halfway point, I pin the opposite side at the halfway point and at that seam so that when I baste it shut, I have those as an anchor. This is where I am just showing you how I basted it in while holding the elastic out of my way and closing the whole leg hole. Now I'm just showing you guys how I do that. So I stretch a little bit as I'm going, and I feel it with my left hand to make sure I'm not catching the elastic underneath the stitch line while I baste it shut. And here you have your butt band that has the tacking on the inside of the leg hole,